Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It's V the Girl Economist coming to you live on another edition of Rogue Coin. There's blood on the streets, and what do you do? There's blood on the streets, and the hodlers are hodling. How long are you going to hodl? That's the question. Are you going to hodl or are you going to take profits? Okay, there's some people out there that said, hey, you're bashing other rooms. And I'm sure that they've strained their manginas as they commented that. You know, their manginas must have pulled a muscle in their mangina. Folks, fortune favors the bold. It always has, it always will. The state of the world is such that it's those that will push through, those that will have the cunning. You need to have cunning to survive these days. Be as wise as serpents, but as gentle as doves. Cunning to navigate these markets. Cunning to stay one step ahead of the state. Stay one step ahead of the criminals that are in the state. This is a war. It is a war for your freedom. It is a war for your liberties. It is a war about what you can do and what you can produce. It is a contest, folks, between the producers, which are us, which are those that listen to this program, and those who are the takers, those who try to take from us, those who try to usurp our liberties, our freedoms, our ability to create wealth. And let me tell you something. When there's an old saying, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. The going gets tough, the tough gets going. And when you're into digital assets, which can, just like a stock, because it's happened before in stocks, it can go to zero. It can go to zero. This ain't like you're hodling gold. See, many of you are under the false presumptions or the false assumptions that this digital asset is like your actual physical asset, which is like gold. Gold can never go to zero. It just can't happen. Silver can never go to zero. It just can't happen. Your digital asset, it can go bye-bye tomorrow. Okay? It can get vaporized. Some of you have invested in various Ponzi schemes, thinking they were legitimate business like BitConnect or Pinky Biddle or whatever the hell it is, Pinky Bit or BitPetite or whatever the heck it is. Ponzi schemes. You see, favor or fortune favors the bold. Excuse me. Cunning. That is what you need. And I want to be thankful for Z and Cowboy. And Z is mobile today, so he might sound a little fuzzy over the airwaves. But Z and Cowboy, with last week's calls, have been able to save a lot of people a lot of money. So without further ado, Z, Cowboy, and Frank, welcome guys aboard. I know you guys have a lot to talk about, and you guys have a lot to discuss. So without further ado, go ahead, guys. Take it away.
Most important, Z is trapped in the desert. We are sending the Rogue Money helicopter.
I made it.
Him up.
Guys.
He made it to the gas station.
He made it to the gas station. We were seriously, folks, we were really afraid we were going to lose Z to the desert.
I am mobile right now in the desert, guys. So
he's in Vegas.
Bear with me with my fuzziness. I apologize.
It's all good.
He's in Vegas because that's just the kind of guy Z is.
my friend needed me. He went through a bad breakup. I had to be there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what a
guy.
Swell guy you
You're
are.
the man.
Yeah, no, Z's, and here's the thing. Z did, Z's in that chat room. Z and I, they're like all the time. Mm-hmm. It's so funny because I saw messages from Z the other night, 2 nights ago, at like all the way from when he got on around 10 p.m. all the way to like 5 a.m. right when I woke up. Like,
yeah, hilarious.
I was like, oh, what's up, Z? He was already gone. So
I saw that too. I was up pretty early that day, and I was like, man, these guys did the handoff. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was too crazy. Things were going crazy. We had to be active, and that's what Cowboy and I love to do.
Listen, I was telling V before we started that I got to speak as, because I'm in the trade room, but I run the website and help with support and build stuff. I'm not a pro trader like you guys, so I'm in there like everybody else, wanting to learn and see what you guys have to say and taking in your pro entertainment that you're offering to the room. And this week was pretty amazing. I mean, V has up on the screen right now, as everybody can see. What's that site called, V? That's all. Coin360 has it's showing you what's happening in the market right now, and you got that big giant red BTC down 9.83% at the moment. Everything down, and it's been a really rough week. And I just want to tell people a little bit of my experience being in the Watch Us trade room, and then of course we're going to spend most of our discussion looking at the market and getting some tips from our pro traders here. But early in the week, things were rough, and you guys still had several winning calls. In fact, Z, it's funny, Z, I've actually been pretty diligent taking calls this week. There was one that I skipped because I just was in too many things, and it was that insane one where you had, what was it, 86% gains or something stupid like that? That was the only one I didn't take this week.
Yeah, Verge was going nuts with the partnership agreement and stuff like that, and
no, wasn't it something else? Something nuts with an S that went up to like 80% or something crazy in like an hour, something stupid. Maybe it was Verge. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
That was the one. That was the gem that we talked about on.
Right. It was in our six coins video. That's right, on the school. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we had some of that in the early part of the week. And then, one of the things I love about our room is it's not just all hugs and cuddles. It's grown-up stuff. And so, and the people in the room are grown-ups, not just the people who are leading the room. And it's the sounds of Vegas. And when things started turning, Cowboy got...
Hey, buddy, mute your phone, man.
You gotta talk to yourself, man.
I'm trying.
You got all the background noise like radio.
I don't even know if he hears us. So anyway, the story. Okay, he's muted now. So the story was this: things started really turning in the market, and I just loved the way that Z and Cowboy handled it. They were giving shooting the caution out. It wasn't just comforting everybody, but strategies on talking about their own strategies, which we're all watching for our own education and entertainment. Their own strategies on what to do when the market turns down. And I'll tell you this, me personally, learning from them, they didn't give me any financial advice. We wouldn't do that. But me learning from them, I saved my portfolio this week personally. And I was saying to V before they got on the line with us, before we opened up the show today, had I been in this room, which didn't exist in December or whatever, when the market topped, my portfolio would be 3 times what it is today. 3 times. But it would have been probably 20% less than it is right now had I not been in our room this week. So yeah, they're great trades, and I've seen my Bitcoin bag grow and all kinds of stuff like that. In this time when everybody's waking up and crying when they look at the Litecoin price, I was able to add something like 46 or 50 Litecoin without spending a dime because of the information that I got in the Watch Us trade room. All that is absolutely true. No exaggeration. And I don't even have my whole portfolio in for trading. I still have a bunch on the side that I just sort of left there. But the stuff that I was trading, unbelievable. So, it was like there were gains early in the week and then really saved my portfolio in the last 3 days. Just from some of the guidance about what was going on, about where we were expecting things to go. Man, it was just, I can't thank you guys enough. It was such an incredible experience. And I know, like I said, the reason I was saying we have grown-ups in the room, I mean, I'm sure there are, it wasn't a fun week. Let's not kid ourselves. It wasn't as if we were all really excited about it. Although it's funny because I'm just telling people we're live right now because Cool Cat was asking in the room. It sounded as if it was fun, although it was a different experience for me to actually be cheering the Litecoin price down so that I could pick up more. That was a new experience for me. instead of just hodling and wishing and crossing my fingers and trying to find encouraging videos on YouTube. It was pretty cool to go, okay, it's going down. It doesn't matter. I'm protecting myself. I know what to do. I have a strategy for this that I learned. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And with the adults in the room, what I meant by that was I don't see, I mean, maybe you guys are in there more than I am. I'm there a lot, but you guys are always there. I don't see anybody going, oh, this sucks. Bitcoin's a scam. Like, I'm not seeing that kind of thing. I'm seeing people really thinking and taking action on the information that they're learning. And it's just a pretty awesome thing to be a part of.
Well, we're really happy to be in this space. It's Z and I actually came up on this space. It was almost a year ago. I was told about Bitcoin and some of the things I heard on this channel. Actually, you guys interviewed Adam Williams yesterday. CJ did. And Adam Williams is a big reason why I am here. So, definitely appreciate him. And, he actually did kind of tell me a lot about Bitcoin and how it works. And he referred me to some people in a network as far as how to safely store Bitcoin. So just a quick shameless plug for Adam. And he's a coach for everything. It's riceowladam@hotmail.com. RiceOWL Adam @hotmail.com. And that came from my involvement with Rogue Money. And literally, I'm here today because of V, Frank, everybody, CJ. And so we're just really appreciative to be in this space, and we're appreciative to provide the kind of entertainment that we provide. Because like Frank said, these markets, they're really painful. Okay. And a lot of people don't know what to do on the way down. And so, Z and I know what to do. Our strategies are a little bit different, although I actually cashed out into cash. I don't really like to use USDT because Frank, thank you for that message. That was really important info.
What? I didn't say anything.
No, it's Frank was reminding me of something we have to talk about here pretty quickly, but it was actually kind of funny. But yeah,
that was not funny, you infidels.
But yes, anyway, I went into cash. A lot of people are using USDT, and there's some FUD around it, but people are using it, and it's going well. So at least we have solutions. We look for opportunities. We have Z found STK. It was a gem. Z is like the king of fundamental analysis. He just,
heck yeah.
His network is really focused on that, and of course I'm part of that network. But Z just loves FA and SA, and he's great at TA. And so a lot of times I'll take the FA that looks good and I'll start charting it, and that's how we work together. EOS, Z and I heard some information about EOS in the last few weeks, and so he and I have been watching it, and when I saw a certain pattern set up, I went ahead and made the call, and so far it's following that call perfectly. We're up we've been up about 12 or 13%. And that's in a market where everything is just bloody, like V put up in his chart there. So EOS, what's another good call, Z? One of them that's I know
we made. Yeah, so there are a few of them, but I just wanted to really just kind of hammer down the whole Litecoin thing, because I know a lot of your viewership owns Litecoin, right? And Litecoin is a personal favorite of like Bix and Cliff and so forth. So just because there were some questions regarding this, like how did we do it, right? So before, whenever Cowboy charts or whenever I chart, we look for resistances, we look for supports, and that is our baseline for our technical analysis. And what Cowboy and I did is that we identified supports and Litecoin at a higher level than it is right now. And we set our stop losses. We gave our strategy on what we were going to do with Litecoin. And because of this strategy, and because Litecoin kept falling down based on our technical analysis, people like Frank were able to make, quite a bit of Litecoin extra. And that's
the most badass thing I've ever heard.
What in the world was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
And this is stuff, guys. This is stuff, guys, that you guys are going to see. That you guys are going to see within the room.
Yeah, it's huge, and I think this week for me was the eye opener on I mean, like this just is so awesome. We've only had this room in a bear market, and this was like the rabid bear of the bear market this week. And so I got to see a whole other side of what you guys do this week, and I was just totally blown away. I was blown away. And maybe it's because it impacted me so much personally, but yeah, it was. I'm like doing cartwheels over here, which is like usually a bear market. Bad week. You're not doing cartwheels. You're trying to buff yourself up. But.
At the end of the day, guys, these are definitely real results. We have screenshots of our members inside there. Very clear. Hey, wow, I made 70 plus Litecoin, right, and various things, and these are real results. This is not fictitious, and it's more than one or two people. This is a network of people that are making good gains, and it's great. I love it.
So let's talk a little bit about, I know people want to get some information. So, we don't want to go on the infomercial. I mean, we got calls, we got winning calls, we got people saving money. That's what we do. We got ranting and raving. So good. All that said, what I did do is I pulled up Litecoin here. If people can see my screen, I believe I'm screen sharing. Is that coming up, guys?
I see it.
So, hold on. I'm going to pop it on there. Bam.
All right. We good?
Yeah, we're good. Now you're on, baby.
All right. So, we get Litecoin's a great coin. We all love it. The disappointment is LitePay. I'm pretty sure that's one of the bigger reasons why it didn't hold up as well. Because a lot of times Litecoin's a decent hedge whenever things go bearish.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing right now with the markets at large is it's a manipulation. At this point, to me, there's no question about it. You have large groups of people or entities, if you will, dumping huge amounts of Bitcoin well under market price, right at key supports, just like Bix talked about, just like we've outlined in these shows. They're doing a price suppression. So, if they try to, get rid of Bitcoin, I don't think you can. I think any attack on Bitcoin makes it stronger over time. I think it's a wonderful investment overall, especially in the long term. So, in this manipulation, we look for, as we talked about, ways to, when to get back in, when to get out, things like that. And there is a chance where we're really close to the point of, if you got out, or I should say, if I got out, then I may be getting back in. If you look on the screen, what we're looking at with Litecoin, I'm going to go to the longer term. So we're going to talk about supports, right? So I drew a line across the bottom here, and that's $100 USD. Now, Z and I, we tend to look at Litecoin on the Litecoin USD for trends. Now, the way that I do it is, I look at Litecoin USD to kind of determine where it's going to go, because most people are buying Litecoin in dollars. I haven't verified that statistically, but I'm pretty sure most of your volume is going to be through GDAX. Z, is that correct? Z is probably muted and doesn't know it. So I'm pretty sure like the dollar, most people are buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum.
Yes, it is based on GDAX.
Okay, so there you go. So, but I mean, most people are buying it with dollars, right, Z?
Yes, I confirmed it yesterday.
Okay, so we did confirm that most of your volume is in dollars, and if that's the case, you have to look at Litecoin in dollars. That's what people are looking at. We like to look at things in terms of Satoshi, and in the world of we're going to collect Bitcoin and not collect dollars, then we actually look at the LTC BTC chart, because if Litecoin's going up in Satoshi, then we're going to go ahead and buy it. If it's what we're going to do, if it's the best idea at the time. So Litecoin is a bit of it's 4D chess. So in this case, looking at the screen, $100 was a support. We did a Fibonacci retracement. It's going to be messy and lengthy to do today, but we actually determined that your support, depending on if you're looking at the candle or the wick, right where my mouse is between, say, 112 and $100 USD. And this is the cool part, guys. Yesterday, I'll switch over here on the other screen so you guys can see what I saw yesterday. We had kind of nailed down 112 as the bottom of the candle, like I just showed you guys. And right at the same time it hit the bottom of that candle, this happened, what you're looking at right now. So what you're looking at on the screen is an increase in Bitcoin price. right? The dollar or the Litecoin kind of it went stagnant at that point. It went up a little bit. It kind of went down a little bit. It's about back up to 115. But the rise in Satoshi is greater than the rise in dollars, right? Because Bitcoin's going down. So in the world of eventually Bitcoin is going to be worth more, Z and I have to go through all these weird gyrations and considerations of pairings in order to do this right. And this is just what we do. And so if anybody here is watching this and they're trying to play Litecoin and they're not getting why they're like losing or why things are going, these are things that you can watch us do so we can show you how we're winning. Okay. So to look closer at Litecoin, what's happening with it right now? Well, it's showing a sort of a reversal pattern that I like to see. Now, with the market at large, I'm not going to say we're out of the woods. Some of the important numbers we're looking at are $6,000 Bitcoin. And there is a chance it could go lower. In the world of manipulation, anything can happen. They may want to let it run up really high again so they can make all their money and sell. They may want to let it run up a little bit so that they can do what's called a bull trap. They may want to just push it down all the way. What I can tell you is that nothing goes down in a straight line. And it's been going in a straight line for a long enough period of time to where I think that we're going to see at least a bull trap, meaning the price is going to go up, it's going to be a rally, and then they're going to try to sell it right off again. What I've been trying to establish a pattern, and when these weird sell-offs happen, these sell-offs where thousands of Bitcoin hit the market, and the one thing I am seeing is that you'll see a stagnation in the price. And in a bullish market where sentiment is bullish, where everything kind of wants to go up, when volume decreases and price stagnates, the bulls begin to kick in and they begin to push the price up. So what I'm noticing is that when there is a stagnation in price and a drop in volume, that's where we're seeing a lot of these dumps. The other time I see a dump, or the other times we've seen a dump, is where it's a key point in the market. And it also kind of is defined by what I just said, where it's hitting a key support. So, these are the kind of data that we're collecting. It's like, well, if there's going to be a big dump, when do you think it's going to happen? Well, we look for that. Now, what I'm seeing right now is not a stagnation in price. It's the end of a big, long dump in price, and it's an increase in volume. So it's not a stagnation necessarily, although it could begin to stagnate, but it's actually a change in price with a lot of volume here. Anything can happen in crypto. They could just decide that they want to push it down again. However, if they don't do that, then this might be the beginning of the recovery. I still think Bitcoin is going to go down at least to 6,000 before we see any hard jump, and there is a chance that it could even go deeper. So with Litecoin, what I'm doing is I'm actually picking up a bag right here, right at the current price, and I'm going to put a stop loss on, and I'm going to watch it. I'm going to put a stop loss at about 5%. That way, if somebody decides to play with the market, or if the market just tanks on its own, then I'm stopped out of Litecoin back into Bitcoin, and then I can take my Bitcoin and I can sell it out, and for cash, or do the USDT thing, and play it safe. So this is how we roll. This is that, and that's Litecoin. I mean, is there anything that, Frank, do you think that anything wants to know anything else about Litecoin? Or I'm sure they want to know how high it can go, but that's just.
Will it go to $1 million this month?
$1
million. No, I think that's very helpful. Is that the can you go back to the last chart you were in?
Yes.
The last time frame. So there's obviously that's a flaggy kind of thing going on there, right?
Yeah, it's a downward wedge.
Downward wedge. Okay.
Yeah, when I see, I guess technically
potentially bullish.
Yeah, potentially bullish.
Okay.
So it's an upward. Okay, so you have. Let me spread this.
So and that is signaling to you it's a time that maybe if someone wants back in, it's a time to maybe cautiously get back in.
Yes.
I know I'm speaking very tentatively, but I think it's a tentative market. So.
Well, and that's very well put. It's the market is always tentative. I don't care what they tell you.
Sure,
it'll be tentative until the day it dies. But if you Bitcoin forever. But when we're like giant clouds of energy floating around. I don't know if we're using Bitcoin at that point, but this is definitely flaggish. It's kind of sort of like a downward, almost a wedge. I mean, it really depends on how you look at it. At the bottom of something so violent as the drop that we've had, I don't. I kind of am cautionary to use those kinds of TA. But if you were to draw a flag, it would look something like this. Always using the wrong line. Okay, so we'll go from here to here. Make this a little more visible for everybody out there in podcast land. And again, just a real strict reminder, none of this is financial advice. You're just being entertained by watching us do what we do. That's all this is here. So this could be your flag, not as wedgy, more flaggy. So what you have with a flag, and this is a very rough flag. So for all of you TA guys out there, if your ears are bleeding, I'm sorry, but we're just kind of doing a demonstration here. So what you want to see with a flag, and I'm not necessarily seeing it that quickly, is a drop off in volume right from here to here. You have like a quick drop right here, then you have a big sell off right here. We'll say that it's proportionately a big sell-off, right? And then it's starting to drop again. So if the volume continues to decrease in this area where I just put this line, then that is sort of flaggish behavior. If the market sentiment is bullish and the volume drops off, then we go up. And we usually go up from wherever the breakout is, we'll go up the same amount as the flagpole. So if it broke off here, theoretically, we start right here with this, and approximately it would go up to just about the top of the flag. So it could go higher. Some people will put it right here. They'll actually start at the breakout itself with their pole. I'm reticent to do that unless it's a wedge. If it's like a wedge flag, some people kind of differentiate that, call it a pennant. I think some people will call this a pennant. So much of the language is unclear. I probably need to see if I can get an authority on that. But the point is, you could possibly see a rise to 130. Here's the deal. I don't think Bitcoin's done bleeding. I think we're going to see another drop. I'm going to see something. 6,000 is maybe, I think 6,000 is the first chance we're going to have at a nice rebound. I have some people saying that from here or somewhere around here, Bitcoin could go up and then come back down. But a lot of people are really stuck on 6,000, and it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I see with Litecoin.
Interesting. You were talking about I think it was I don't know if you said sentiment analysis, but you mentioned the LightPay announcement. We actually covered that almost live on our show on Monday. We didn't have our show Wednesday because V was away, but and that was where Charlie Lee essentially apologized for promoting LightPay, which is shuttering. And LightPay was a huge disappointment. It was like it was a bummer, but at least they were still there. They were doing something. There was some hope for the future, and people have really, even in the bear market, have been very, very excited about Litecoin. So I think that definitely was the sort of throw your hands up in the air moment for the people who are like hardcore Litecoin fans, which I am and will continue to be. But there are certainly a crowd of people who cryptos is Litecoin for them. That's kind of all they think about, which is fine. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that it was an exasperating thing to see LightPay shut down and Charlie Lee apologize for promoting it. So it had to impact. Well, I shouldn't say it had to. I should say I strongly suspect that that certainly played a part in what happened.
Oh, I would say it played. I'd say you're right on, Frank. And Frank, it's almost like you. I love how Frank pretends to be the newbie, but he just really has great perspective.
I don't. I just know you guys know so much more than me, so it's humbling.
Well, actually, Frank is kind of like our third. Almost like a third helper in the room. Is Frank's in there too, answering a lot of questions like a pro. So,
thanks,
I can't sit here and gush enough about how much fun we're having. And yes, a lot of people are losing
in a
money.
horrible market.
Horrible market.
It's really cool. It is. It's very exciting.
It is.
And such cool people. You guys have told me privately how adult the room is. Not adult in that it's not fun, but just the quality of people. We got to throw that to the audience that V has built to here at Rogue Money. Just such great people. I've been experiencing that for a while because most of Remain Comms clients are Rogue Money people. So I know that. But seeing, it's funny because I'll see some wacky screen name and not realize it's someone that I've known for like a year, helping them with some project they were working on. And it's like, oh, it's you. Just yesterday, someone messaged me. It's like, hey, it's me, by the way. And I was like, oh man, you know, I just talked to that guy on the phone. I didn't even know he was in the room. So it's a great crowd of people.
It is. And
a helpful crowd of people.
Yeah.
Each other.
They help each other. That's the thing. The room has kind of come alive. Well, Rogue is a community, and so we're all helping each other. And that's, you know, we're already here. If people listening to this are already part of the Rogue community, so understand that the spirit of Rogue is in that channel, in that we're helping each other. And in the vein of helping each other, I wanted to take a quick look at Z. Well, actually, Z, what do you want to look at, bud?
I would like to look at EOS, and I just wanted to reiterate one point, guys, that you guys were saying. Remember that Litecoin, right? I understand that there's a potential that it could drop further, but remember that even if you know, we called the stop loss. I stop loss out at 135, right? And I rebought in at 112.
Nice.
So it does not. It does not. You don't remember. You guys aren't always trying to hit the bottom. Yes, of course.
You did though.
Is ideal, right?
You're off by $3.
Yeah, we're off by $3. You know, which is pretty good. But you know, remember that you know, a gain's a gain, guys, and that's
Absolutely.
what we're looking for.
That's a huge gain.
We are realistic. We're not in here like a lot of these other trade rooms that you know, in the time. You know, we're real.
Yeah, very real.
We are, yes. I got EOS up, and so basically
EOS and One Chain.
EOS, yeah, One Chain, dude. Oh my goodness. So Z, talk about One Chain a little bit while I draw up EOS.
Okay, so a One Chain, guys, fundamental analysis is it's a dApp platform. So essentially, One Chain is a digital app platform, very similar to Ethereum. The difference, though, is that One Chain is quote unquote faster, it's scalable, it's blockchain 3.0, but it also has the privacy factor of Monero inside of its blockchain. So now you have a very anonymous coin that is also a platform builder, and it's targeting the financial world. So that is why I originally was so bullish about One Chain to start off with. Now, as for the future of One Chain will be listed out in
Z, you got some bad reception there, buddy. Can you repeat what you said about when it's going to get listed out?
Guys.
He's turning into Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, Z, we're going to come back to that. I guess okay, so everybody, we'll talk more about...
Yes,
Z, you're breaking up,
yeah,
buddy.
Z, you're breaking up, dude. We'll come back to the fundamental analysis on One Chain.
Break it down, Nick.
Basically, you know, One Chain it's like a financial coin, essentially, right? So a lot of the financial aspect is going to be ran through One Chain, and I actually like to focus on financial coins. PPT, those are great coins. Of course, we're all part of the you know, the the Bix and Cliff group, a lot of us here. So those are some of the introductions to those coins. Now EOS, I actually had a conversation with somebody this morning. It's a coin that came out recently, and I can't, you know, I'm part of it. I don't think I was given privileged information, but I just won't name that coin right now. I'll wait until I have permission to. But essentially, that coin is going to the EOS platform. A lot of people are going to the EOS platform. EOS does have a lot of aspects to it that sort of it's like a lot of the problems that Ethereum has, the EOS is going to solve, including transaction speed, some of the glitchiness of that. So in that happening, you know, Z and I, like I said, we got some information about EOS, looked into it. This first triangle that I drew, I actually had set up to do what the second triangle did. So, for those in the call room, what you would have seen is, and there's like Fibonacci stuff in here. I'm not doing it all for the sake of the time of the show, but this is to show kind of what happened with it. So we did have basically like a descending triangle bouncing off of resistance here. And I did think that it was going to go up because a ton of volume right down here. And of course it was trailing off, but it was in a bullish, kind of a situation. At the time, Bitcoin looked okay. And then right about here or so, Bitcoin tanked, right? That was the big sell-off that happened earlier in the week. And then we ended up with this, or it might've been last week. Weeks are starting to run together. So when everything kind of started to calm down and EOS set up for the same thing again, I ran the same TA again. And I think I have my targets. I can look. One target I think was right around 82. And I think the next target is like 89.
Wow.
And we had this, and it's set up using Fibonacci, based in this kind of scenario. And, just going up to the next two levels after the 50%. And so, and that's a lot of technical talk for those who understand tech. And Frank and I are actually going to do some videos on Fibonacci for the crypto school, and people can do that, learn from what we do. And we keep it very basic. It's just entertainment. It's just something for you to watch, to have fun with. But anyway, this right now is happening when Bitcoin's going the opposite direction.
Man.
This is look. There's this one Z called Juan. We were just talking about Juan Chain. That's kind of Z's newest love. I don't think it's his first. STK was a gem that also Z heard about. I called a couple of coins that just had great returns during this time, like 10%, 15%. Just stuff that I saw that we're seeing a reversal here. We have this coming out. We made killer on Verge. I am looking at Ven. I know that we do talk about Ven a lot. So unless anybody wants to see anything else, and I am looking at the, let me see here. I'm looking at a question here from one of our guys in the room. And so I'm going to go ahead and answer it live. This is Crypto Cowboy and Crypto Z. What is a good step-by-step focus strategy I should take to learning trading as a place to get basics done? Should I start with volume or Kumo? Because I got market cap kind of pinned down. Some other questions that he kind of adds to the end of that. So I actually have a list, and I pinned it.
I saw that. That list was awesome.
Yeah, that came from a TA friend of mine. Actually, a TA friend of mine in Z's. And so what we did was, for entertainment purposes only, we listed what we thought was a great place to start doing research. Because that's where I started doing my research. And so, I put what I had done, and I'm trying to find the pinned. Here it is.
I saved it.
So. You saved it.
I did to my hard drive.
I've got the pinned items right here. Let's see here. I just was going to read some of this off. Okay, so I'd say that the first thing that I find valuable, and I agree with this guy's list, like almost 100%, is how to read candles. Okay, and Frank, did we already do a video on candle theory?
No, I think we took it for granted as sort of the basic, kind of thing. But yeah, we could do a video on that for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea to do a video on candles.
Yeah, because it's candle. It's so funny. People look at it and they know that, okay, I can tell where the price is, and
it's easy to take for granted when you get it, but it's not that easy when you're starting, for sure.
For anybody who's actually been in the call room, me personally, I love candle theory because what it does on any time frame, when it gives you clues as to what's happening. Where the wick is, what direction things are going. If you see this grouping of candles, you can, if you see a red hammer above the 50 EMA with a couple of other things that are in line, then you're going to get a bullish run. Things like that, people don't know these things. They don't think about them. And candles are such a basic thing. And the next thing after candles, understanding support and resistance, we did do a video on that. We did 2 videos on support and resistances, which
we talked about it twice. Yeah.
Like we got guys who in the room, what they've done is they have sold in and out of Bitcoin in each drops. And here's the question though, is how do you know when to do it? How do you know when? Well, no one really knows. But what I do is I take a look at supports and resistances to know, okay, we have a chance at dropping here. We have a chance at dumping here. Or if we, if we raise here, it may stop here. So I'm going to take my profits there. These are supports and resistances. And some of the best money I've ever made has been on that support and resistance concept. And we have guys who have paid for the entire year's membership with us by doing their own research on reports and resistances and kind of looking at what we're doing in these crazy times. They have, guys, just to put it together for you, they have paid for, a couple of guys have told me personally, they have paid for a year's worth of subscription with us just in this down market by getting in and out of Bitcoin on the drop.
Yeah, okay. It's a great strategy.
People making money on the way down. It's just insane.
All right, I have a CIA book friend, Facebook, who has a massive Litecoin portfolio. Like he doesn't have to do anything else with how much Litecoin he has, right? And every morning he's like, oh, I picked up 100 Litecoin off of this drop and blah, blah. It's a great way to build a portfolio, even if you just focused on that one thing, right?
Exactly. And then some of the things on the list, if we want to get through it, there's a few indicators, a relative strength indicator, MACD. That's Z actually introduced me to MACD, and then I went and studied it. And that's a lot of guys apparently are just using MACD and making money off that in like the stock world and everywhere else. Understanding time frames. So when you're looking at a chart, knowing what the implications are and looking at the 12-hour versus say looking at the 5-minute chart. And then there's chart patterns, which is probably my favorite subject. I love patterns. I'm the kind of guy that just looks at the order book. I mean, and just stares at it. Like if you turn on like something rotating, I'll probably just stare at that too. I'm just one of those guys. Like I'll look at the washing machine for like 5 minutes. I just love the stuff. So chart patterns are really where I feel at home. And that's where our EOS call came from, was from chart patterns and a few other things. From there, there's other stuff. There's Ichimoku, EMA, moving averages. You got Fibonacci. I love Fibonacci because it's just Italian.
I like the way you say it. Nobody says it like you.
Oh, Fibonacci? Yeah.
That's because he's a Sicilian.
Like I told you, sometimes when I'm done reading my charts, I like to go outside and I like to cut up a piece of an orange and I put it in my mouth and scare the crap out of my grandkid.
And then you die of a heart attack.
And then I die of a heart attack. It's just it's so much fun. I love it.
But yeah, Fibonacci. I think it might actually be properly pronounced Fibonacci. If you want to get really ethnic about it.
Or fibs.
Yeah, fibs. Italians fib all the time. What can I say?
How dare you?
Mats, prosciutto.
Prosciutto. Hey, you have some sausages and some spinach.
Hey.
Bada bing, bada boom. Eh? So, but yeah, these are all to answer that question. Again, just a brief review. I got candles, support resistances, RSI, MACD, timeframes, chart patterns. But look, we have that pinned up in the room. And what I'm doing is, right now, with the market going like it's going, we're really cautious on our calls. We got a couple of winners, right? Like, EOS, what a great winner. Z is like freaking aces right now, dude. Z just can do no wrong with his calls. Yeah. And the calls that we're putting out that don't, maybe Bitcoin dragged it down. We have our stop losses in place. And, so that's, we've said enough about stop losses on this channel. We've talked about other channels. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but there's just some channels that I don't know. They don't believe in stop losses. I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah. But market goes down, you get stopped out.
I also really like the idea of trying to increase your Satoshi value. In other words, when all else fails, building up your amount of Bitcoin, because we all believe Bitcoin is going someplace great. So if you're in a week where the dollar value is like, oh, okay, yeah, we would love to have high dollar values and increasing dollar values, of course. But I love the philosophy. It's been very freeing for me, the philosophy of building up your Bitcoin, knowing that we all believe it's going in a great place in the future. And so it's like, okay, if everything I own was down in dollar value this week, at least I increase the size of my portfolio. So that's sort of I find that very, very helpful.
Yeah.
The other thing is we have another question. I think V wants to say something, but before we get there, we had another question real quick. Where would be the best place to learn the TA list that we provided? And the reason I want to address that here and now is because I have seen bad TA on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Terrible TA.
How dare you insult the YouTubes?
Yes. So
Doesn't matter, man. You don't like the other hodl rooms?
No, I don't like the other hodl rooms. So, but long story short, in the room, what I do is I'll find what I think is good for somebody who wants something immediately. I'll say, hey, this is what I watched. So that'll answer that question real quick. But V, was there something you wanted to see on the coinage, or what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that just struck me while you guys are talking and doing all this, and I'm seeing like the overall chart over at coin360.io, and I'm looking at these tens of thousands of coins that are out there, and I'm thinking to myself, folks, what we have here is something very special. The volatility that you're seeing in the crypto markets, it's the growing pains, it's the birth pangs. There's no way for any governmental agency to put the cryptos back or the crypto genie back into the bottle. Okay, we have real decentralized exchanges that have been built out like Komodo, where soon they're already beta testing atomic swaps, which are going to be absolutely deadly to the banksters. Now, when I look at the crypto market, the reason why I bring that up is this: folks, all of us that are in cryptos, okay. All of us that are in cryptos, all of us that are in gold, all of us that are in silver, we are in a way part of a shadow economy. We are in a way part of our own shadow banking network. Think about this. We are decentralizing ourselves in such a way that no longer does one person have to go to a bank and apply for a loan, give out a DNA sample and their firstborn child as collateral. You no longer have to do those things. We're creating platforms like Salt and various other lending platforms where you're able to lend and get payment for loans and this, that, and the other. So many services are springing up. We are on the wellspring, the very threshold of creativity. This is our shadow economy. Folks, what we got with cryptocurrency, okay, and what we got with gold and silver, this is our pitchfork and torches. Okay, this is our rebellion. They hate seeing this, and there is going to be some volatility on the day ahead. And this is why I love what Z and Cowboy do in the room. There's money to be made on the way up, and there's money to be made on the way down. Don't sit. Why are you? I mean, there's folks out there that are paying $300 a month to sit not in a trading room, but in a hodl room, where you sit there and hodl and comfort each other. And I've seen this. I've literally seen this. They comfort each other about their losses. This is like alcoholic. It's pathetic. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's like some sort of a comfort group. You go for somebody who has a porn addiction. They sit there and they comfort each other over the salaciousness of the fact that they've lost half their net worth in cryptos. And they sit there, but it's okay because one day the market's going to turn around. Folks, I will tell you what my mentor, former head trader over at Glencore, who is currently right now heading up a major firm down in Brazil, has always told me. He's beat this in my head. You can crap in one hand and you can hope in the other and see which piles up faster. Okay? Get rid of, if you're spending $300 a month in a hodl room, please get out. Please get out. They are not worthy. They are not worthy of your money. They are not worthy of your time. They are greedy charlatans who are pilfering you and your hard-earned income, your hard-earned mind, and your blood, sweat, and tears, and your own equity. Bring it over here to us, guys. Go to the cryptoschool.io. If you're new to cryptos, you can go there. You can get a lifetime membership for $297. Get all the teaching videos that Frank has put up, and with Z and with Cowboy. Everything you need to get going. And when you've gotten through that, you can go ahead and click the Watch Us Trade link, okay? And then join the trading room for $149 a month, okay? That price is going up April the 15th. It's going to go
last
to $300.
chance. Yeah, last chance.
Okay? It's going to go to $300 a month. Now, some of you might say, well, that's a lot of money. It's not.
No.
Because you're going to pay for it, not from your bank account. You're going to pay for it with the profits that you are making in cryptos. You see, folks, we're not telling you. See, we launched this room, and this is a testament. This is a real testament. We've launched this room in a bear market. We've launched this room where, just like right now, all you see is red. All you see is people panicking and freaking out, and all you hear is how much they're losing, and they're hodling together in their hodl groups, comforting one another, saying, "Kumbaya, my lord, one day Bitcoin will be up. Kumbaya, my lord, one day Bitcoin will be up." While that's happening, real traders are making real money. Real people are learning how to trade and changing their lives. See, one of the things I don't want Americans to do, and what I don't want, and this is what I'm trying to get from people to do, is stop being inactive. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Stop being a spectator. Stop being a keyboard jockey. Get involved. Learn something, and you have been blessed. You've been blessed with a digital revolution. You've been blessed with blockchain. You've been blessed with cryptocurrencies. Trade the cryptos, make your money, procure for yourself gold and silver, whatever assets you need. That's how you play the game. This is how you beat the bankers. This is our revolution. How do we beat these guys? We simply don't partake in their system. Learn how to do this, guys. Thecryptoschool.io. And with that being said, Z, Cowboy, Frank, I think Z dropped off. He's probably in the middle of the desert, but Cowboy, Frank.
Send the helicopter.
Take your 30 seconds and go ahead and give your closing comments. Anything else you guys want to say? Go ahead.
I just want to give Z's coordinates in the desert so someone could go pick him up while he waits for the helicopter. No, you said it all, V. Thecryptoschool.io. Great time. You got 15 days left or so, a little bit more than that. April 15th, the price is going to rise for everybody in the room. It's not just for new people. But you can get your first month at $149.97 right now before it doubles. And yeah, you said it all. There's great content on all three of our products. Go check them out at thecryptoschool.io. And thank you so much to all of you who have been participating. We're not only glad you're there just as clients, but what a great community. Awesome people. We're so glad to have you.
Yeah. And it's like this, man. In my lifetime, I've made a crap load of money and I've lost a crap load of money. And one of the things I have is I have fear. Okay. My only fear is when people trust me with their money, there's a fear that goes with that. I respect that. I cannot sleep at night. And Frank and I have had this discussion before. Nick, Z, we've all had this discussion before. We don't sleep at night. We cannot look ourselves in the mirror. We cannot look our spouses in the mirror. We can't look at our kids in the mirror. If we took other people's money and squandered it on bullshit, if we took other people's money, okay, telling people to hodl and sign up for next month's course, and it's going to be another hodl course. We're going to teach you we're going to give you a couple of theirs, pat you on the on the back, and tell you everything's going to be all right. That's going to turn one day. How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? How do you do that? How do you I can't do that. I can be like, oh look, yeah, guys, it sucks out there. I know most of you have lost all your money, and everything's going to be all right. Hodl employee will be coming in, and Hodl employee will show you exactly what hodling trades he's going to do. What is going to be the hodl coin of the week? And hodl employee is going to show that to you. And meantime, while hodl employee shows that to you, here's my new BMW, guys. How do you like that? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, stuff like that angers me. See, these are guys, I could tell some dudes, they got, different rooms and whatnot. And I'm gonna have to say it, man, because there's no respect for money. Why? Because they never made money in their life. They're new to money. They never handled it.
Yeah, that's exactly
respect it.
That's exactly it, V. V and I were talking about this offline. There are a lot of people who they don't have business experience. They haven't earned their money the hard way. They fell into cryptos because somebody called them and all of a sudden they found another, person to run a call room who ended up being shady, and things like that happen. People like us in this room, we've been in business a long time. We have people in this room who have worked for themselves. I've worked for myself. I've, multi-million-dollar corporations. I mean, I've done some hard stuff. So I respect the money that everybody has. I understand what it is when I need to make a decision that is either going to save my portfolio or not. And I don't take it lightly. And that's a very, very terrible entertainment if I were to take something like that lightly. If I was to try to entertain people by letting them watch me lose all my money, then people paying money for that entertainment would not be paying very good money for that. So, that's all I have to say about it. We are in a bear market. I don't think it's over. And again, we're pulling our money out and put it back in to what we think is the bottom. And so, for those of us who have done that, I'm thinking, 6,000 for the moment. If I see bearishness again, we're going to go ahead and go for the next point, what we think it is. And that's just how we roll. So, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? Here's the deal, man. It's like, when you're doing this well in a bear market, oh my God, you're going to be flying. You're going to be flying high.
It's going to get out of control
in the bull market. Okay, so
can't even imagine.
Get yourselves positioned, folks. That's what it's all about. Stop. Look, if you're in a retarded trading room and you feel good about holding, come on, stop it already. Stop it. I mean, I'm going to show the screen one more time just so I can, show it to you guys.
Or if you've never tried a trading, I mean, there's tons of people listening who've never tried anything like this, and they're apprehensive about it. Between the content on the Crypto School in the videos, the one-time fee, and the help that you get from both the community and the constant help you get from Cowboy and Z, it's amazing because it's really successful, but it's a perfect place to get started. You don't have to be sitting there and understanding every word that Cowboy says when he does his TA. Far from it. If you're comfortable with some basic technical stuff about using things, and even if you're not, we have videos on that.
Yeah,
it's a great place to start. Don't be intimidated by how smart these guys are, because they're very generous, and the rest of the room is very generous to help people catch up. And it's
exactly. And we'll walk you through. And if you want to learn, $297 will give you a lifetime membership to the Crypto School, where you will get the curriculum. We're not putting one video out there.
Yeah.
Here's a video which basically gives you nothing. Yeah. And then tell you to go join our trading room, but we won't babysit your trades.
Yeah.
And then when there's a bear market, don't bother looking for me. I'm the hodl employee. I come out when there's only a bull market, so I can look smart in front of the others. Watch me lose 75 million. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Like, honestly, it's like it angers me as an alpha male.
Alpha ape.
A large.
Alpha primate.
Yeah, man. A large alpha male. I see these things. I want to pick up the fat turd by his cheeks and throw him against the wall a couple of times. It pisses me off to no end to hear this horror stories. It's got to stop, and it will stop. Either it stops by people joining with us and other rooms that are just like us, who cares about people, or the SEC and the feds will come down and put a lock in it. Because I'll tell you right now, there's some rooms right now. I know for a fact the FBI is looking up to them. I know for a fact the SEC is sniffing them out right now. Right now. Why? Because they're playing games with other people's money. How dare they? It's disgusting. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. It pisses off Frank. It pisses off Cowboy. It pisses off Z. It's immoral, man. It's immoral. Like, it's like you're a sociopath if you do this to people. A sociopath. There's no other way to. It's like I don't. People like V. You shouldn't bash other people's. I will bash them because they're fake. They're sociopaths. That's all I got to say. And folks, here's the deal: thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io. Go there. $297 lifetime membership. There's a plethora of videos out there.
Yeah, by the way, you mentioned the videos. I just counted. We have 16 videos in our video curriculum, and we've got at least 6 or 7 planned with Cowboy. And as new stuff comes up, we add new stuff. So it's not 1 or 2 videos. I mean, there's a lot of content, hours and hours of content in there at this point.
It is so worth the price. It's cheap. It's so inexpensive.
Oh, forget it.
And the trading room, what you're making in the trading room, it's that $149 was that introductory. It's inexpensive at $149. It's inexpensive at $300. What you're getting in return. So that's it. TheCryptoSchool.io. Change your life, folks. Stop being a spectator. Stop waiting for somebody to come save you. Stop waiting for if Q Anus puts out a new whatever post on some message chant somewhere. Stop waiting for any of that. Stop waiting for a politician to come save you. Your destiny is in your hands with violent determination. Violent determination. You know, there's an old scripture verse that says the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. I love that. Just something about that verse just clicks with me. Violent determination, folks. With violent determination, take charge of your life. Make it happen for yourself. TheCryptoSchool.io. With that being said, we're over and out.